Hi, welcome to Sakshi Education. Joining us today is Dr. Ross Gittell, President of Bryant University, with a strong focus on career-driven education. Dr. Gittell has transformed Bryant into an institution renowned for its innovative academic model. Under his leadership, Bryant has strengthened its global reputation and continues to lead with Vision 2030, a strategic plan aimed at delivering transformative learning experiences and preparing graduates to lead on day one. A distinguished economist and former chancellor of New Hampshire Community College System, Dr. Gittell's leadership during the COVID-19 pandemic ensured uninterrupted in-person learning, highlighting his commitment to student success. With degrees from Harvard, UC Berkeley, and the University of Chicago, Dr. Gittell has authored 3 books and over 100 academic articles contributing his expertise to government, nonprofit, and business sectors. Welcome, Dr. Gittell.
Very good to be with you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have with you, sir. And Dr. Gittell, Bryant University offers a wide range of programs from business and technology to arts, with a strong focus on career-driven education. Given the increasing interest in STEM fields among Indian students, particularly from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, which programs are most popular among these students and what makes them stand out?
Yes, there's interest in our degrees, our majors, our programs that are closely linked with the best career opportunities for our students, and a lot of those link together fields and techniques with business disciplines. So the example would be more technically oriented finance, where you have mathematical modeling, you have statistical analysis, and increasingly you have AI applied into financial market analysis and delivery of services. You also have that in accounting. So in accounting, you're applying a lot of AI techniques and a lot of data visualization and applied analytics within the accounting field. And there were very good, high-paying jobs in those areas. And another example, and another one of our strongest fields, is in marketing, particularly digital marketing, where being able to, promote your company using digital tools, and again, increasingly AI. And AI is very much in the focus of a lot of commerce companies in how to present their products and services, and then how they deliver their products and services in marketing and reaching not only the potential market, but then actually when the market is achieved, servicing those customers effectively. So there are these fields that it's the mix. It's business plus. It's business plus STEM education. And particularly within that STEM larger context is AI and staying on, in the know on the applications within those disciplines of these emerging technologies and technological applications in the business disciplines.
Yeah, Dr. Gittell, what are the specific eligibility requirements for Indian students applying to these programs, especially in terms of academic qualifications and standardized test scores, Dr. Gittell?
Yeah, having strong math skills, having strong IT-oriented skills is very important. It also is very helpful if they've had some industry experience. Increasing number of our students have worked in their family businesses and then want to take it to the next level to management and strategy and applying the latest technology. Also, what's very important to have is that spirit, the interest in business, the interest in using entrepreneurship to develop new companies, having a passion for that and be able to work well with others. And given that we're US based, having an interest in the international business component. And everything I mentioned there really leads to high performance careers. If you're a student, seeking a higher education, having exposure to the U.S. market, U.S. businesses, a very strong business-oriented institution where our graduates have very high earnings. We're top 1%, according to independent surveys, in terms of return on investment in a Bryant University education. So students are interested in that. But you asked me, what they have, what kind of background they have to have. They have to have this, interest in being a business leader, starting a business, and being on the leading edge of the application of technologies within the business.
Great, sir. And given the growing demand of high value, career focused education among Indian students, especially from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, what key factors should students and families consider when evaluating international universities, particularly US universities? And how can they bridge gap between academic knowledge and industry demands when selecting an institution like Bryant University?
Yeah, no, great questions. As far as what they should be looking for, I think I already stated it. I'm an economist by training, and that return on investment. You want to go to an institution that has a proven record, that's documented by an independent source, that's ranked by Wall Street Journal. We're a top 100 in the United States institution, and that's but it's about 5,000 institutions of higher ed in the United States. So we're a top 100 institution. Then, particularly in business education, we're ranked very highly. And I mentioned that top 1% return on investment. Our average graduates, in US dollars, earn $76,000 a year. And that's for undergraduates. So with an undergraduate degree. And then in some of the more technical fields like finance or actuarial mathematics, that is even higher earnings. So if I, make sure there's what's the experience of recent graduates? What is their placement record? And then particularly for international students, so what companies are they leading right now of the graduates of these institutions? Do they have opportunities to place with companies based in India, with companies based in the United States and elsewhere? And you'll see that Bryant is very strong in that area. And that's for our undergraduate programs and also our graduate programs. So it's very important, as I think your listeners and viewers and is the connections you make at an institution. So if our graduates, which they are well placed, we have 50,000 alums all over the world. I'm in India for over a week meeting with alums. We have that many alums here. We're very successful. We're very proud of that. So if you're an Indian student looking for, the American university experience, I would look for your returns on investments, rankings, like the Wall Street Journal rankings. I look at the experience of alums. And I would really look at the geographic location. So Bryant University is 45 minutes from Boston and Cambridge, Massachusetts. So it's a high-tech center, a finance center. We're co-located. We're in the same industrial park as Fidelity Investments, as one of the leading investment advisors and investment companies in the world. And then we're very short 3-hour train ride to New York City, and with close proximity to Washington, D.C. and Montreal, Canada, which is, Washington is the seat of federal government for the U.S. And then Montreal and Toronto are economic centers of Canada. So that's a great opportunity for students to be near those leading industry centers. So when they come to the United States, they have that connection and exposure. So I'm biased, but that's what I would be looking for. But I also went to other, very strong universities, including in Cambridge, Massachusetts, Harvard, and that experience is unlike any other particularly for an international student, to be there with international students, not only from Bryant University, but from major universities that are very well known, and you're part of that connection with your colleagues and other students.
It's great geographic locations. It's an added advantage to Bryant University. It's very accessible, and also it's very near to the top universities of the world. It's great, say, great.
And we are a top university of the world. We're small, but that's good. So you have you get to know your faculty. You have small classes at the same time. You're among the leading institutions, not only in the United States, but as you mentioned, globally.
Yeah. Another question, sir. Bryant University is renowned for its strong career outcomes, as you mentioned. And what advice do you have for students from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana who are looking to pursue an education that aligns with future career opportunities both in US and globally, sir?
Yeah. Well, what we've done historically, our institution's been around for over 160 years. We've done it over our history, and we're increasing it now, is having that experiential learning. It's having that career experience as part of your curriculum, as part of your education. And we increasingly have learning opportunities for our students within the class context to do projects for global companies, to do internships where they get credit. And so it's the experiential learning, and it's about learning not just the theory, but the practice and having experience with the practice. And very importantly, it's about connecting with people in the industry because those connections lead to jobs, they lead to career, and they lead to career advancement. So all our students make relevant career connections with people in industry that leads to jobs and that helps them advance in careers. Another example is, part of why I'm here is networking events among alums. And then the alums connect with each other and it helps them in their business practice and careers because they're part of the Bryant University Alumni Network.
Yeah, it's great alumni networks, as you mentioned. And as global higher education become more interconnected, higher education becomes more interconnected. How is Bryant University positioning itself to stay ahead in this evolving ecosystem, sir? And what role do international collaborations play in that?
Yeah. Well, we've had for a long time at Bryant University a top-ranked international business program. So we always believe that the international is very important. And in the current economy, we believe it's very important for our students to have that international global experience and to have that in leading markets around the world. So we're in India and we have alums and we're recruiting students and building the base because India is going to be one of the three most important economies for people at the university right now for their careers. It's also true that the United States is going to continue to be one of those top three. And the third leading economy currently, and looking towards the future, is going to be China. We have a campus in China. We're obviously a U.S. institution, and we're here in India and have a strong presence in India. And then we just recently established a partnership with the University of Cape Town in South Africa. And the one reason why we were attracted to that, well, there were at least two reasons, very strong reasons. One is University of Cape Town is the number one ranked university in all of Africa. And then there's as an economist, again, looking at the demography, the continent that's going to be growing the most over the next half a century is going to be Africa. So knowledge of Africa, the economic opportunity, strong connections in India, China, and the United States. If you want to work in a global economy, you want to have those connections. So Bryant University is focused strategically to form strong business relations and focus our efforts in those economies. And if I was a student now looking at a university, I want to make sure that the university allowed for students to have strong opportunities in leading and emerging markets.
Yeah, certainly, sir. Bryant University is moving with a vision of 2030, as I mentioned earlier, sir. And as you know, this year, a few days back, India hosted AI Summit 2026.
Very exciting. Yes, yeah.
Yeah. And AI and technological disruptions are transforming education, sir. I witnessed it directly at Delhi, sir. And how is Bryant adapting its curriculum to ensure students are prepared for careers in this ever-evolving landscape?
Yes, yeah. We are, I mentioned at the opening, our focus on the intersection of STEM and business, and to be leading with leading technologies. I believe we're one of the first business programs in the nation, in the US and probably globally we're moving to require all our College of Business students to take a machine learning course. Because our students are applying AI, as I mentioned earlier, in finance and marketing, in management, in accounting. And very rightly so, the faculty and students are saying, if you're going to be applying AI across these business functional areas, you have to understand how AI works. kind of the core elements of AI, just like you would want to, understand economics to understand, the fundamental landscape that business operates. And that's why economics is a required course for business. But if the leading tool for the next decades within business is AI, you want to know how AI works. So our students will have to take a required machine learning course, all our business students. And we're integrating AI in every course, every program that we teach. We do have standalone majors in applied AI and business analytics, but it's not just about being an AI major and therefore then you know AI. As if you're going to be a leading financial professional, you have to understand how to use AI, the limits of AI, and how to interface with the customer in leading ways to sell your products and services. And so that's what we're doing with AI. And I wish I was in India while you were having this global conference. I was reading jealously about us doing it. It's a very smart positioning to be in. We lead with AI because AI is transforming businesses. It's going to be transforming economies like India. And importantly, for this discussion, it's going to be transforming education and economic opportunity. And those with AI knowledge and skills, not just the technical skills, but the applications and understanding its power and also its limitations, are going to be enabled to enhance their own economic prospects, but also their communities and their nation's economic prospects. So AI is a powerful tool for economic change and economic opportunity. And that's why it's very important for Bryant to be on the leading edge of that. And for young people considering where to go to university, so you want to be at a university that's leading among universities in AI, and faculty are embracing AI in the classroom instead of restricting its use. So we've thought a lot about this. Where we want to hear what's happening in India. I'm learning from the alums here in India. I think it's important for us to learn from each other too.
Yeah, great, sir. Great, sir. With the rising importance of career outcomes and ROI, as you mentioned, in the decision-making process, how does Bryant University ensure that its students, particularly those from India, graduate with the skills, industry connections, and career support needed for strong employability in a globalized economy? You already addressed it at this point, sir. Can you please add some of the points? So
yes. I do have a lot to add here.
Yeah. Please.
Yeah. When I was not just focused on administration when I was a practicing economist, I did a lot of statistical and econometric modeling to do forecasts of industry trends and economic trends across industries and major urban areas. And I've changed my view about how to forecast about the economic future, and particularly as it relates to curriculum development and the development of programs in education. I think the best way to find out what your program should be teaching to ensure that high ROI is to talk to leading employers in industry. So that's what we do a lot. We engage very closely with industry leaders. So our closest partners at Bryant University includes leading accounting firms and also financial companies like Fidelity. We work with all four of the big accounting firms. And we have a lot of graduates of those firms, and they were the ones who would tell us, they're not going to hire an accountant out of university anymore unless that accountant has AI skills. Fidelity is the same way with financial advisors and investment professionals. And they were telling us this starting about 18 months ago, and that's why we made the curriculum change. And then you talk to leading marketing companies, leading companies in multinationals, and we listen to them. What is the industry doing? What kind of skills do their employees need to have? And then we align our curriculum with that, and that's the way you get a top 1% return on investment. The curriculum has to change. And we're a very agile institution. Our faculty is very student-focused and the student success focused. So, how do you figure out what to put in your curriculum? You work with leading employers that are adding jobs. and align with their needs. And then you adopt as they adopt. And it used to be you try to stay ahead of industry, but things are happening so fast, particularly in AI and the leading companies in AI, is now if we're just half a step behind them, our graduates are going to get really good jobs because there's not many universities staying that close to where industry is going.
Yeah, great, sir, great. So from students to professionals, in today's rapidly evolving job market, universities must prepare students not just for their first job, sir, but for multiple career transitions across industries. How does Bryant University equip its students with the skills and flexibility needed to successfully navigate these career shifts? And what specific resources or programs does Bryant offer to students through their professional journeys, sir?
Yes, we're our graduate programming, which includes a 1 year and a 2 year MBA program and an online MBA program and programs in applied AI and in business analytics provide that opportunity. But increasingly, we also have programs related to executive education or career acceleration. And those are geared like applied AI, in areas that are of high demand, and students could get certificates or get the skills that they need. And those are available in different modalities. And that's something increasingly our graduates, the 50,000 alumni, are interested in. And then our major companies, their incumbent workers are taking those courses with us to advance their skills. Because as we've been talking about, the technologies, the skills needed to be successful are changing, and those in the workforce already have to be upskilled.
Yeah. And for Indian students, especially, so planning to study abroad in the coming years, what message would you like to share? And what steps can they take now to ensure they are prepared for success in their academic and professional journeys?
Yeah. No, I would say I spoke about it earlier about having the good STEM-related skills and background, having the entrepreneurial and business spirit, and the drive, the passion, and also particularly studying at Bryant University or globally, to be interested in the international business or international broader experience. I would say to students, I mean, we're here in India, we're recruiting in different parts of the world. The current difficulties in becoming a student in the United States, we believe they're current difficulties, but that these are going to they'll be changed over time. And there's still going to be very strong opportunities at places like Bryant University. There's a need, an interest among not only Bryant University, but universities all across the United States in having an international student population, because the economy is increasingly global, and we want our universities to be global and to represent the world and be in a place for opportunities for people from all over the world. So that's the American way. And, there are moments in time where there's more difficulty. There's relations are in a different place. But I think taking a long-term perspective is really important to understand. Again, that the leading economies in the world, we know which three they're going to be. You have to have knowledge, no matter where you are politically. If you're interested in international components and in business, to know the Indian economy, to know the Chinese economy and culture, Indian economy and culture and society and history, and U.S. economy, history, and society, and others, is fundamental to being a good global citizen and having successful and meaningful lives. And that's going to be the case, and increasingly so. So I would say, the moment-to-moment difficulties, be resilient and look at the longer picture and longer-term perspective. And I'm optimistic, and I would hope that the people who listen and watch this podcast, I would encourage them to be optimistic, because if we're not optimistic, we're not going to have an optimistic future. We have to create that future by continuing to work together and try to be united as a world.
Yeah. Great. So optimism is the greatest tool, sir. And anything that you want to share with Indian students and their families through this platform? It's open to you.
I just want to say how wonderful this country is and the people are. and I'm experienced in this visit. We have so many alums who've been so supportive of our university who come from India, and we have a community like you practice here, where people are kind to each other. We're a small institution. We have a beautiful campus in a very nice setting. We've added very nice facilities for housing, residence hall, for a new home for a college of business. But at the end of the day, we want to be a strong, supportive community where we could tell our students they're going to be treated fairly, and they're going to be treated as part of the community, and they're going to make the best friends of their lives, and then they're going to launch careers. They're going to be very successful. So, I'm an economist. I go to the numbers, the top 1%. I talk about the economies. But at the end of the day, it's about community and being part of a strong community, because that's how we build up the strength and character to be successful along with that education.
Thank you so much for enlightening us with your words, and also, you talked about technology and also the education system in America, and also especially in Bryant University. And Dr. Gittell, you transformed Bryant into an institution renowned for its innovative model. And we are sure under your leadership, Bryant will strengthen its global reputation and continues to lead with Vision 2030. Wonderful talking to you, Dr.
Yes, wonderful talking to you. I appreciate it. Be well.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. For Indian students, and especially from the Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, those who want to pursue their higher education in international education in US, especially, we have to know there are some checks and measures that you have to follow while choosing an university. And definitely, we hope that Dr. Ross Gittell interview will help you in choosing right universities, and about Bryant University and the strengths and what kind of academic curriculum they have been designing and updating from every now and then, with the latest technological interventions. And it's great having you, Dr. Ross Gittell, once again. And it's a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And this is Vishwa for Sakshi Education with Dr. Ross Gittell, President of Bryant University.